Well, we're all numb to this by now, right? The Browns lose again. This time they fall to the Buffalo Bills 23-20 here in Cleveland. The Browns falling to 3-12 on the season with the loss. And
it was not a great day for one Shedeur Sanders. The completion percentage looks better. It does. But there were some horrible mistakes at the end of the game. 2 sacks and a couple of really bad sacks, and also a grounding call at the end of the game. It was disastrous.
No, Shedeur will always be blamed no matter if the world is going to come to an end. It's Shedeur Sanders' fault.
The Cleveland Browns just got torched by the Buffalo Bills. Final score 23-20, but do not let that 3-point margin fool you. This felt like a blowout in slow motion, and the only thing anyone is talking about right now is the fourth quarter meltdown, a collapse that turned a winnable game into a full-blown referendum on Shedeur Sanders and the man calling his plays, Kevin Stefanski.
I feel bad because I threw it, but yeah, truthfully, yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
This was not just a loss. This was organizational dysfunction wrapped around a rookie breakdown, predictable play calling, an offensive line that could not protect a practice dummy, and a fourth quarter that exposed every crack in this team's foundation. The Browns just showed the entire NFL how to throw away a game they should have stolen. Before we go any further, like this video if you love Shedeur. Comment SS100 if you still believe he can be the future, and subscribe because we are breaking down every snap and every decision the national shows are too scared to touch.
20 for 29, 157, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 2 sacks, and a couple of really bad sacks, and also a grounding call at the end of the game. It was disastrous. Josh Allen, 12-19, only 130.
Right now, every headline is about Shedeur's fourth quarter collapse, and fair or not, that is where we have to start. For 3 quarters, he looked like the real deal, confident, sharp, calm. He opened 5 for 5 for 58 yards and capped that first drive with a perfect 15-yard touchdown to rookie tight end Harold Fanning. The timing was on point. The ball placement was flawless. The Browns' offense finally looked alive. For a brief moment, it felt like Cleveland might actually have their quarterback. But football is a 4-quarter game, and the fourth quarter hit Shedeur like a freight train. With 5 minutes and 15 seconds left, the Browns were still in striking distance. 4th and 2, season on the line. Everyone in the stadium knew this was the defining play. And what happens? The blindside protection collapses, the edge rusher comes free, Shedeur gets absolutely destroyed. Drive over, momentum gone, games slipping away. So, was this all on Shedeur, or is this offensive line so bad that any quarterback would look broken behind it? The truth lives in the middle. Yes, Shedeur held the ball too long on some snaps. Yes, he took sacks that he cannot take. And yes, when it was time to close the game, he did not deliver. But the Shedeur is a bust takes flying around right now completely ignore one thing. This offensive line is a disaster.
And this has been the knock on Shedeur. Not getting rid of the ball, and it happened. I got to tell you, I know for a fact it happened twice. From this point on, from that point, it happened one more time, and then he got a grounding call against him. It became a utter disaster.
We are talking about a group that commits drive-killing penalties in key moments, a unit that gets blown up on 4th down with the game on the line. A line that rarely gives its rookie quarterback more than 2 seconds to operate. You cannot play point guard at quarterback when your pocket is collapsing the instant you hit your back foot.
You got to, don't take a sack, whatever it is, get rid of the ball.
But Shedeur's problems go deeper than just the guys in front of him. This is also about decision-making under pressure. This is a rookie trying to be Superman on every play. This is the weight of an entire franchise's playoff hopes dropped on a 22-year-old still adjusting to NFL speed. The interceptions tell the story. 8 picks in 6 games. That is not random. That is a pattern. That is a quarterback still learning when to take the easy throw and when to live for the next down. There were moments in this game where the check down was there and Shedeur hunted the big play instead. Against a defense like Buffalo, that is how you get baited into mistakes.
I feel bad because I do it, but yeah, truthfully, yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
Then there's the Quinshon Judkins situation. The running back goes down with what looks like a serious leg injury on a pass play, and the internet does what it always does, blames the quarterback. People are actually saying Shedeur ended his season. That is ridiculous. Running backs get hurt. It can happen on any play. Blaming the quarterback for a freak lower body injury is the kind of knee-jerk nonsense that makes football talk unwatchable. And here is the part nobody clips. Shedeur owned it anyway. He talked about feeling like he let his guy down. That is accountability. That is a rookie willing to carry blame even when it is not his. No excuses, no finger pointing. He is hurting for his teammate. That is leadership, whether fans want to admit it or not. Now, let us talk about the real sabotage going on. Kevin Stefanski's play calling. This is a head coach who has 2 Coach of the Year awards, yet week after week he calls games like he is scared of his own offense, conservative when he should be aggressive, predictable when creativity is needed most, red zone drives that end in field goals instead of touchdowns because he would rather settle than trust his guys. Look again at that 4th and 2, season on the line, offensive line leaking from every gap, rookie quarterback already hit all game, and Stefanski dials up a slow-developing play that puts maximum stress on the blindside protection and on Shedeur. That is not putting your young quarterback in position to succeed. That is setting him up to fail and then acting shocked when he gets buried.
It's really just building off last week. It's building off getting to the checkdowns. When you see it, pull it, take it, playing in rhythm, all those different things.
The crazy part? The Browns' defense actually gave them a chance to win this game. Early on, James Cook was cooking them. 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. He ran like Cleveland's front 7 was not even in the stadium. But in the second half, the defense adjusted. They tightened up. Josh Allen tweaked his ankle, and the Browns kept him from taking over with his legs. They got stops. They gave Shedeur and the offense multiple chances to take this game. The game was there. It was winnable, and Shedeur Sanders could not close it. That is the cold truth. In the NFL, that is the line that separates true franchise quarterbacks from everyone else. Can you win in crunch time? Can you lift your team when it is falling apart? Can you make that one throw, season on the line? Tonight, the answer was no. To his credit, Shedeur knows it. He talked after the game about needing to take what the defense gives him, about playing within the offense instead of trying to force big plays every drive. That is exactly what you want to hear. The mentality is right, but knowing the lesson and living it at full speed when a defense like Buffalo is disguising coverages and sending heat are 2 very different things. The Bills' defense deserves major respect. They mixed their looks. They got pressure with 4. They forced Shedeur to hold the ball an extra beat. They baited him into throws that looked open pre-snap and closed post-snap. That is veteran defensive football against a rookie. That is how you break young quarterbacks if their coaching staff is not helping them.
I respect, and I was telling them during the game, I respect their defense. I respect kind of their coaching and how it was, because if you understand, it was kind of like Tampa 2. That Mike Backer running, walling, taking that middle.
Shedeur also talked about going back to the tape and cleaning up specific reads. That is a quarterback living in the film room. That shows he gets the game at a high level. But again, it has to show up in real time, with bodies flying and seasons on the line. So where do the Browns go from here? Right now, they are staring down a critical 2-week stretch that could decide their season and maybe their quarterback future. Because if Shedeur keeps struggling late in games, if the turnovers keep stacking up, if the fourth quarter collapses turn into a pattern, you better believe this front office will be looking at quarterbacks in the next draft. 3 weeks ago, the narrative was simple. Shedeur was the steal of the draft, the kid who could save this franchise, a poised assassin who did not look like a normal fifth-round pick. Now the talk is shifted. He is a project, a talented project, but still a project. The stat line against Buffalo does not help. 20 of 29, 157 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Those are backup numbers. Those are we might need to reevaluate numbers. When you have Myles Garrett chasing records and a defense that is actually playing winning football, wasting a season because of offensive confusion is organizational malpractice. The clock is ticking on Shedeur Sanders, not because he is a bad quarterback, he is not, but because this league does not hand out endless chances while playoff windows slam shut. You either produce or you get replaced. That is the business. That is the reality. Cleveland has to make a choice. Commit to Shedeur, build a real offensive line, get him receivers who can separate and catch, accept that rookie growing pains are part of the deal, or hit the panic button, draft another quarterback, and hit reset on this exhausting cycle again. There is no safe middle. There is no wait forever and see. The NFL only rewards wins. This loss to the Bills was not just about one awful fourth quarter. It was about coaching, about protection, about a rookie still figuring out how to win when the lights are brightest. The question is not whether Shedeur Sanders has talent. Anyone watching can see that he does. The real question is whether the Browns are capable of building around that talent before it is too late. Because after another 23-20 loss that felt way more lopsided, Cleveland is running out of time, running out of excuses, and running out of answers. Shedeur Sanders just learned the harshest lesson in pro football. In the fourth quarter, nobody cares about your potential. They only care about your results. And today, the results were a complete disaster.